basically from late August of 2022 to the end of December of that same year, I went through a little thing called depression. I know that from an outsider's perspective it seems like nothing to talk about it now almost a full 2 years later, but I can still vividly remember everything I went through during that time, and let's just say that especially from November to December, it wasn't pretty. I'll spare you guys the details, but basically I was just losing a lot of stuff. I was losing my passions, my drive for YouTube, and even for a short while some of my friends. But thankfully come January and through January to May I managed to get my life back in a way. I started to feel like myself again. I reconnected with the passions and the friends that I lost, and in the process I made a few new ones. And by the end of my junior year of high school in June of 2023 I was in a much better place. And it was around this time that I began to get into photography. To be honest, it's something that I'd always wanted to get into for a while, and I had dabbled a bit with it in middle school, but this time I'd be going fully into it. I began to take photographs in May like this pigeon, this butterfly, and this ladybug, which is probably one of my favorite photographs that I've ever taken. Then in June I saw this pig and named it Saxon, so there's that. And as the summer went on I'd go on to take more photographs, like in early July when I went to visit some embassies and took photographs of some of them. But because I'm unsure of the legality of photographing such buildings, let alone publishing them in a YouTube video, I'm gonna err on the side of caution and just not show the photographs. And as a side note, I took a photograph of the Filipino embassy, to which my Filipino friend Estera had this to say: "By the way, go follow and support Estera, she's amazing and makes great art." Then in August, while visiting my relatives for 2 weeks, I took this photograph of a funny array of flags. We got the American flag on top of the flag of Maryland, on top of the flag of Sweden, on top of the Irish flag, on top of the Peruvian flag, on top of a pirate flag, on top of another Peruvian flag. What can I even add to that? That's just simply majestic. Then in October, I took this photograph of a tree on the bus ride home from school. And then in November, I bought a Palestinian flag and hung it up on the wall of my room cause Free Palestine. Later in the same month of November, I would take another trip to visit my relatives and take photographs during the ride back home. Like this one of some cows just vibing, this one of a hot air balloon, and this one of a random field. My favorite one was probably the photograph of the cows, because I love cows. And my most recent photograph is this one, which is another one of my favorites. It's a photograph of the sun coming out from the trees. This photograph was taken during the transition from the cold winter in February to the beginning of spring in March. And I think that the pairing of a tree with no leaves due to the cold of the winter with a tree with flowers on it due to the gradual onset of the warm spring made for some great contrast. And with the sun in the background, it just brought it all together. I also have this photograph of the bajora that me and my family set up for Ramadan. So now that I've given you all a tour of the photographs that I've taken from May of 2023 to now in April of 2024, we're gonna do something a little different and do face cam. Yes, you heard me right. Face cam. I want to do face cam for this next part, firstly because this next part's going to be more about why I love photography so much, and how I've been inspired by a few of the content creators I watch on YouTube to pursue this hobby further, either because they're fellow photographers themselves or through their other creative endeavors. And I personally feel like I can't properly do that with just simple voiceover, you know? And also, you know, face cam segments are easier to edit because it's just jump cuts so the video can be made faster and stuff. And just as a heads up, this part will be unscripted, so if I stutter or forget what to say, pause in between sentences, or appear awkward on camera, then please forgive me, but I'm gonna try my best.